Hello and welcome to the video. This is a product that has just come out today. Now, I and probably other reviewers that you're going to see on YouTube were lucky enough to get our hands on one. I've only had it for a couple of days, so I'm not calling this a review, I'm calling this more of a first look. Because with things like chargers, you cannot do a full review if you've only had the thing for about 2 days. Not only do you have to kind of show what it does, because guess what? Charges batteries, had a couple of extra little tricks up its sleeve. I'll show you those in a moment, but it's how it survives over time. Now, there are some battery charger vendors that I personally trust a lot. ISDT being one of them. My D2, which I've had on my bench forever. This is my go-to 2-port charger that I've had for literally years and years, and it's just worked. And I've been looking for another 2-port charger, a more modern one that has the features on that I want. And I think I finally found a replacement for my beloved D2. So let's, while I unbox it, very quickly go through all the specs. I'll put a link down below. Price, I've been led to believe, I'm recording this before it's been released, of course, is about 146 euros. But chargers, in my humble opinion, are like radios and things like FPV goggles. They are investments in the hobby. Go cheap at your peril. Cheap usually means lower quality. But from what I've seen so far with this, I've been impressed. So as I unbox it, let me go through the specs very quickly. This has both AC and DC dual inputs, so you can run it from a battery or from the mains. 100 to 240 volt input. AC is a maximum of 200 watts, 7 to 30 volt DC input, but if you use the DC input, you can go a little bit higher, go to 300 watts. It's actually a little bit more than that, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The display on here is a 2.4 inch 320 by 240 LCD display that's very nice. Charge current is selectable from 0.1 to 15 amps on both ports. Discharge current is available from 0.1 to 3 amps on both ports as well. Size of the unit is quite reasonably compact. It's 145 by 76 by 62 millimeters, but it's quite a chunky beast. There's obviously some nice heat sinks in here. It's about 530 grams. It'll support lithium ion, LiPo, LiHV, hydride. Also has some other cool things like upgradable software, has temperature protection, over voltage protection, multi-language, and it has charge, discharge, balance, and some other things as well. So let's jump on the bench and I'll give you a whistle-stop tour of all of the menu settings. On the side we have the AC input and also a regular standard USB output for charging, 5 volts and 2 amps. I really like that. I know some other chargers are starting to put high power USB outputs on it, but there's so much stuff that I need to charge while I'm charging my batteries. Things like Fat Shark batteries, things like my DJI FPV controller, my GoPros, other action cameras, and they all need this supply. On the back we have an XT60 connector for the battery, along with lots of warnings and the specs, and on the other end we just have a whacking great fan. On the front we have the 2 ports for channel A and channel B with an associated balance tap as well. I'm not sure what this clear plastic part is. I'm guessing it's a similar enclosure for something else. At the moment it's just a blanking plate. There's no kind of funky LEDs or anything in there. On the top we have the navigation buttons and we have the screen that isn't touch. So let me power it up and we'll go through the menus. That is about as loud as the fan gets. The fan itself in operation is pretty quiet. In terms of navigation, you have the up and down button, you have 2 dual function buttons, which either is the back button or it'll check you between channel A and channel B. Took a little bit of figuring out how to work that, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty intuitive. And then we have the enter, but also the setting. If I long press it, it'll take me into the system menu, and in here I can change things like the language, the power settings, whether or not the backlit is set, how it all works. So let's come that. We also have the ability to set the maximum amount of time and the maximum capacity. Very useful. These are set incredibly high by default. I'd recommend if you get one of these, come in here and reduce them. I'm going to drop this down to probably a couple of hours and probably about 5,000 milliamp hours. I rarely fly batteries with more than that. And then we have things like the calibration for the A and B channels, and then we have everything else in there as well. Let me plug a battery in and we'll go through stuff. So I'll plug in one of these Tassu batteries. These are one of my favorites at the moment. These are the same size as a classic 4S 1300 LiPo that we used to fly a lot on quads. For the smaller wings, it's brilliant. It weighs the same weight, it has the same size, but gives you a lot more flying time. So let's plug it in. And this will allow me to go through all the other menus. Plug in the balance tap as well. There we go. So now we're set. So select channel A, hit the enter. And now we have the option to pick what we want to do. It has a standard charge and discharge function, surprise, surprise. Also has the ability to put batteries in storage, which is great. Balance charge, guess what, does a balance charge. External discharge is nice. If you're running from a DC battery, it allows the amperage and the power that you're pulling out of the battery that you've got on charge to flow into the battery that you're using to charge stuff with. That can be very handy if you're running something like this at the field. This, I really like the idea of having not only power from AC but from DC as well. You know, running it off a lead battery or something at the field is a really nice option. Then we have something called digital power. Digital power allows you to set the voltage and amperage you want, so it's kind of like a little bench power supply. That's a really nice idea. And then we have some other cool things. Sync charge. Now this isn't something I've seen on other chargers. None of the ones that I've got here will do this. It allows you to connect a battery to both ports at the same time, and that will effectively double the amperage that you can push into the battery. So that is something that I've not seen on other things. So let's not do sync charge. Let's actually go and just do a regular charge on this battery and hit enter. Everything else is set properly. You can check the end target voltage at 4.2 is where we want it to be. So we'll just go start task. Once it's started, then I like the fact that you have a nice, easy to read percentage on here, and it's a really easy to read graph of what's going on. As well as having the individual cell voltages, you can also go down, and once it's been charging for a little while, it'll also read out the internal voltages, the resistances, in fact, of the battery, which is a really nice feature. And then you've got all the individual settings. So let's charge another one. So let's plug another one in. So this is one of my kind of bench 2S's that gets used for everything. It is actually due for a bit of a top up. So let's plug him in, balance tap again. There we go. I'll press the button to tab through, so we can see that that one is doing something. I think it would be nice if this was kind of backlit to show you that, like a green color or something, to show it was in operation, because the only thing is that you kind of got to spot is that the stuff at the top and the green little LED status bars going across. So let's go into channel B. Let's hit enter. Again, this is a 2200. It's detected it's a 2S. We can change the battery type, of course. It'll do HV, LiPo, lithium ion, LAFE, and nickel metal hydride, if I can even say it. So let's start the task on that as well. And there we are, both of them running. And you can hear, hopefully, that there isn't any fan running. That it is very quiet in operation, and when the fan comes on, it isn't terrible. Let's have a quick look and see if we can see the internal resistances of this battery now. Yeah, there we are. We've got the internal resistances of this 2200 pack. So there we have it, quick overview, first look at the new Gens Ace IMARS Dual. This is now going to be my day-to-day driver for charging the batteries when I just need a couple charged, which is what my ISDT D2 has been doing for a good 3 odd years. So I will, if nothing changes, if you never hear from me again, it probably means it's just still ticking away. You might see it in other videos. However, if I have any problems, I will do a follow-up video. But I do like the fact that this doesn't look like a big black brick, which lots of other chargers do. This would look at home on the side of a very modern decorated room. So let's see how it survives. But the impressions from the last 2 days of playing with it are very, very good. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that if you're trying to learn a topic will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.